Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing great. Let's see what to expect when choosing a distro like Nobara. But first, a disclaimer. In this video, I'm reviewing the distro itself and the experience it provides, not Linux as a whole. If you are completely new to Linux, expect a learning curve regardless of which distribution you choose. In my experience, it takes about a month to become comfortable with the different workflows and ways of doing things. And a special disclaimer for this video only. I'm currently testing different distributions for 30 days each to see what the day-to-day experience is like. However, Nobara is a special case because it has actually been my daily driver for about a year. The 30-day period wasn't for evaluating whether I like the distro or not, it was mainly for collecting data on updates, resource usage, and the out-of-the-box experience after a fresh installation. Now let's get started. Nobara is a gaming-focused distribution based on Fedora, which means its software packages are generally kept very up-to-date. However, they are usually held back a few updates compared to the absolute latest releases to help ensure stability and reliability. The package manager used by Nobara is DNF. Here are a few commands that you are most likely to use on a regular basis. The distro uses a fixed release model. Major updates are released every 6 months that upgrade the operating system to a newer version. Nobara 44 should be just around the corner. Fixed releases are the most common approach because they provide good stability while still making it easy to update the system. It has a GUI installer, which most distros have, but you can still find some niche ones, or Arch. The out-of-the-box desktop environment options are pretty limited, with only KDE and GNOME available. That's not necessarily a bad thing though, since those are the two most popular and widely used desktop environments on Linux. And if you're coming from Windows, KDE is probably going to feel the most familiar. The media codecs required for video playback, recording and gaming can be installed either during the operating system installation process or after through the Nobara Welcome window. Nobara comes with its own software management application that handles both system updates and package installation. It also includes its own Flatpak store, although it's not installed by default, so you'll need to install it from the package manager first. Another useful tool is the storage mount manager, which makes mounting additional drives incredibly easy. As for the default application selection, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There are quite a few applications that the average user is unlikely to ever use, while at the same time some essentials are missing, such as a video player, audio player and image viewer. Over the 30 days that I tracked the system, there were only 3 days that included updates for the operating system and its core components, and only one of those updates required a reboot. During the same period, there were updates for regular applications on 13 different days. Most of those updates were for apps like Discord and Brave browser though. Also, I didn't encounter any crashes, broken updates or major issues. As for memory usage, a fresh installation idles at around 2 GB of RAM. My current setup uses about 5.2, but roughly 2.2 of those come from modded Discord and modded Steam, plus some other things like my Niri desktop setup, 3 monitors with live wallpapers and an audio equalizer running in the background. Let's move on to the pre-installed applications. Arc is for archive files. You got Blender pre-installed, I don't really know why. You got Brave browser, Dolphin, which is a file manager explorer, Falcon D, which is a tool for optimizing Linux for games. Personally, I never used it. Fedora Media Writer for creating bootable USBs, Firelight for analyzing disk usage, Firewall, G-Overlay, which helps you customize the stats overlay for games. I personally prefer Mango Juice, Heroic Game Launcher for Epic Games, Amazon Games and GOG, Inkscape, a vector graphics editor, no idea why it's pre-installed to be honest. Kate, a text editor similar to Notepad++ from Windows. You got KDE Connect for connecting mobile devices, Kden Live, which is a video editor, Console is the terminal, Locked, it's a GPU configuration app, the LibreOffice Suite, the free replacement for Microsoft Office, Lutris, an app that manages games, good for those that need Wine to work, OBS Studio, Ocular, which is a document viewer, Open Gamepad UI, which is a controller-focused desktop experience, never used it, OpenRGB for controlling light effects on peripherals. It worked surprisingly well. I have a very niche keyboard, but I was able to change the RGB effects. Prism Launcher, which is a special launcher for Minecraft, really neat. I had no idea about it, only discovered it after checking the pre-installed apps on Nobara. Proton Plus, a must tool for applying compatibility layers for Steam games. Spectacle, which is a screenshot tool. You got Steam. System Monitor, which is similar to Task Manager from Windows. Time Shift, which is a system restore utility, very useful in case something goes wrong, although I haven't really used it. Web Apps, which lets you run websites as if they were apps. I have absolutely no idea why would you do that. And Wine Tricks for running Windows apps. The app selection is pretty strong, however, there are a few applications that many users will probably never touch, while some basic media applications are missing. There isn't a dedicated video player, music player, image viewer, or camera application installed by default. Personally, I'm using Haruna for video playback, Elisa for music, and Gwenview for image viewing. As for additional software I recommend installing, Proton Tricks, it is extremely useful for Steam users. It works similar to Wine Tricks but automatically detects your Steam games. Mango Juice makes configuring Mango HUD much easier. Bottles is great for running Windows applications inside isolated containers. And Easy Effects is one of the best tools available for applying audio effects and equalization to both input and output devices. Nothing worth noting regarding the gaming experience. I mainly played Steam games, some emulated PS3 titles, Minecraft and OSU, and I didn't run into any major issues. Overall, it felt pretty much out of the box and ready to go. Terminal usage is minimal thanks to the Package Manager app, unless you have some specialized use case, in that case you will need the terminal. One final thing to keep in mind is that Nobara is fairly moderate in resource usage. It runs great on modern hardware, but I wouldn't recommend it for older or lower end systems. That's about it. I hope I gave you a pretty good idea of what Nobara offers out of the box and whether it fits your needs. Thanks for watching.